Toronto Mayor Rob Ford may be gone, but Ford Nation lives on. I'm here at the annual Toronto Ford Fest Family Barbecue to see how Rob Ford supporters remember the man who always stood up to the elites and went to bat for the common man. Doug, what does it say about the legacy of your brother that after his death and so many months later, so many hundreds of people, members of Ford Nation, will still come out to the Ford Fest barbecue?
Yeah, well, there's thousands actually.
Math was a bad subject for me, Doug.
But no, it's we're very grateful and it's heartwarming. And these are real people here. These are taxpayers that we talk about their hide rates going up, about the mismanagement of their taxes. So they're real people. They're concerned, but we're here to have a good time and remember Rob.
What is your one enduring memory of your brother that you still think about today?
Oh, just being with him, just being around him, talking to him. Him calling me, "Hey Jones, what's up?" So,
what's the story there?
Yeah, so he'd park himself right there, and he'd probably upstairs looking down right now, and just meeting all the people. The people love Rob. They like me. They love Rob. they're absolutely in love with him. So, and we just look forward to getting everyone in the backyard. It looks like it's filling up there. So,
what brings you out to Ford Fest, Carmine?
Well, I've been a great supporter of the Fords. They've done some amazing things over the years. And out of respect for the late Rob Ford, I want to come here and support Ford Nation.
Now, what does it say about Rob Ford's legacy, Carmine, that even though he's dearly departed, here we are on a Friday evening and literally thousands of people still coming out to honor the man? What do you make of that?
Well, it shows that the work that he really did, Rob and Doug and the whole family, and that he really committed his life to helping people right till the very last day. And we have to show respect for that. And we need Doug now to carry on the legacy of his brother and the family into the 21st century and beyond.
Tell me, what is your most enduring memory of Rob Ford?
The fact that we were here for one of the outings, and his mother asked him, "Robbie, where are you going with all those towels?" "They're for my kids." So we thought it was for Dougie and his daughter. It wasn't. It was for his football players. He loved those football players with all his heart, and they loved him.
What is the one enduring memory that you have of Rob Ford?
My Uncle Rob was very close to me growing up, and he used to do a radio show on AM 640. I'm sure you're aware of that, when he was a counselor. And he brought me down there one morning. I really wanted to go. It was a council morning, so I went down to the radio show with him, sat in there with him, and then we went down to City Hall, and I sat in the public gallery as he was on the council floor. And that's probably one of my fondest moments with my uncle.
Well, sir, what brings you out to Ford Fest tonight?
I work on his campaign, and I worked with him when Rob was really sick, and it was, if you remember, it was a heat wave, and I was out there every day with him, and I'd see him up against polling stations, and I'm trying to push him away, and just had a lot of respect for the guy.
It seems in retrospect, given the pain he was going through, that he really did a heck of a job hiding it from so many people.
For a long time, yeah.
Months after Rob's passing, a Ford Fest happens, and literally thousands of people still come out.
Yeah, I think it's a real tribute to Rob, but I think it's a tribute to the family and the roots and the dedication that they have to the community as well. I mean, all these people know that when they called Rob, when they called Doug, they would come on out and they would help them. And now when they call Councillor Michael Ford, he'll come on and help them as well.
Now, during the tumultuous 4 years of Mayor Ford being Mayor of Toronto, you were there through thick and thin. When you look back, what's your assessment? Do you think he got a fair shake, by his opponents, by the media, so on?
Not really. The man had his faults, as we all do, but I think there was a lot of overemphasis placed on those faults and not enough attention paid to the good work that he was doing. He brought a lot of focus to City Hall when, before people would be like, "Oh, yeah, it was City Council's meeting? Well, whatever." And people now really pay attention, and they're really engaged in their city, and they want to make their city better.
And tell me, through thick and thin, what today remains your one enduring memory of Rob Ford?
You just never know what question he'd ask you. You'd think you'd know the man, and you'd think you'd know exactly what he was going to be focusing on, policy-wise, or news of the day-wise, or even sports-wise. And he'd just blow you away out of the blue.
Give us an example of a question that knocked your socks off.
Oh, I'm just trying to think. One time I remember he actually asked me about a Toronto Rock game that I had attended, and it's funny because for a long time I'd been trying to get him to come out for a Toronto Rock game, and he was, he supports them. They're a Toronto team. Wasn't really, a lacrosse fan. But then he throws a question at me, asks me, "Oh, how'd they do there against Rochester the other night?" Sorry, what?
So he followed up on it then.
Absolutely. You know what? He loves Toronto. He loved Toronto.
What was it about Rob Ford that you liked so much?
Rob Ford was doing very good job, but his health was not allowing him too much to work do. That is not, it's okay. But his health was not good. But it's okay, but he did a very good job. Okay. We like him very much.
And Giorgio, I know you have so many memories over the years with Rob Ford. What is your one enduring memory that resonates with you today?
Rob did not let anything bother him. Nothing. And if anyone else in this world would have had to endure what he had to endure, they would have been in an asylum somewhere. They would have been locked away because they wouldn't have been able to handle themselves or the pressure. Rob was able to handle all of it, every ounce of it. And he taught all of us a lesson. And that lesson was, don't let what other people have to say bother you. And that's the biggest lesson I've learned.
What brings you out here, sir?
Well, I'm going to tell you what brings me out here. This attitude. Before Rob Ford was elected, I brought my 2 young kids out and I said, boys, I want you're going to be shaking the hands of the next mayor of Toronto. Rob Ford was a man that cared about his people around him, his community, one of the most hardworking people I've ever known. And it resonated very well with me that he cared about the hardworking taxpayer, whereas most politicians think that it's a slush fund that they could spend whatever way they want. He was a grassroots kind of guy. You know what? What I like to say is he put boots on the pavement. He wasn't just an individual that flapped the yap, now and then at a press conference. He literally went door to door. He went and saw people face to face, foot to foot, shoulder to shoulder, and he cared about his fellow man. And that, to me, is really important. You know what? That man is a legacy that we should aspire to. This is an example of how politicians should behave. Accountable to the people, not just because they elected him, but because they actually really truly do care about the taxpayer, that work very hard. These people are working extremely hard to pay these taxes, and it's not money that should be abused, as I often see it with most politicians.
Well, there you have it. Even though Rob Ford passed away last March, there is still a whole lot of love for Toronto's ex-mayor, at least here at Ford Fest. And while it's true there will never be another Rob Ford, there will always be an appetite for a courageous politician who espouses the Rob Ford mantra of respect for taxpayers. And that, in the end, will ultimately prove to be Rob Ford's everlasting legacy. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.